I'm Heyzeus, and if you're watching my video right now, chances are you're kind of like me. And if you're kind of like me, chances are you probably like Fight Club. And if you like Fight Club, chances are you probably remember a line from Fight Club that goes like this.
On a long enough timeline, the survival rate for everyone drops to 0.
Now, I've spent the last 7 years regularly watching people scream hysterically about how the market is constantly going to die. It hasn't, it's always recovered, but as Tyler Durden says, eventually something will get it. And in this video, rather than asking when it'll die, I want to ask why. When CSGO skins do eventually die, what's likely to be the cause? Because there is quite a few potential killers, and I think it'll be interesting to take a look at them. Now, this video is sponsored by SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a site where you can quickly and easily trade your CSGO skins. Just log in through Steam, make your trade link, and you're good to go. Just select the skins you want to trade and you'll have a trade offer within seconds. Any excess will be added to your balance, and if the skin you want isn't tradable, it can be reserved for you until it is. There's also a built-in high-definition inspect feature, and if you're topping up, make sure to use the code Heyzeus to get an extra 5% bonus on the balance you deposit. And that same code will also get you a bonus of up to $5 when you do your first trade. Now, on top of this, the site also hosts daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways, so even if you don't have skins, there is something here for you to check out. Great site, recommend having a look, link is in the description. So first of all, I'd like to look at the idea that Valve might just choose to delete skins.
For skins, I have this button on my keyboard. It's right here, it says delete. I would just hit that button.
Or completely disable trading and selling, or something along those lines. Basically dispossessing CSGO players of several billion dollars worth of stuff. What if Valve hit the delete button? Are they likely to? What are the reasons they might? Well, at the moment, Valve actually have about 600 million reasons not to delete skins. Why? Because that is how much money they are making from cases each year. And obviously this system relies on CSGO skins being tradable and worth something. Nobody in their right mind would fuck with a system like this when it is so lucrative. But the problem is, this presumes people are in their right mind. And the reality is, not everyone's decisions are completely rational. Sometimes people do things that are a bit dumb. People can be stupid, people can have egos, people can be stupid and have an ego. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect, check it out. But those two things together can be a very potent combination. It's just a question of why would it happen? Obviously, the current people working at Valve know how the system works. They don't want to kill the goose that laid the golden egg. But what if there's a change in management at Valve? This is a hypothetical scenario that could play out. Let's say Gaben dies and the company goes public. Well, it's very easy to imagine some, executive, some talentless suit who gets paid extremely well regardless of what a shit job he does and has a massively inflated ego, is nowhere near as smart as he thinks he is, coming in, looking at the market and saying, why are we losing all this money to skin trading? We could make that money selling on our marketplace. You can easily imagine some sort of corporate hack doing that and fucking up the entire system, thinking they're gonna make an easy profit. This is a pretty far off scenario though. Gaben might be overweight and getting on in years, but I don't think he's gonna die anytime soon. The longer Counter-Strike survives though, the bigger a risk this is gonna become. And if Valve ever does end up going public, I don't think there is a chance that skins will survive, but this certainly isn't an imminent threat, and I don't know if the game will even last long enough for it to really ever matter. So, this is a map of the world. As you probably know, CSGO revolves around loot boxes. That's its bread and butter. That's where the money comes from. This is how the game sort of works. We open loot boxes, Valve gets money, everyone's happy. Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this. These are the lifeblood of CSGO. This is how the revenue is raised. And this is a problem for CSGO because there are some legitimate ethics concerns about loot boxes. Some countries have been, looking at banning them. For example, this country here, Belgium, has banned them. This country here, the Netherlands, has banned them. France has forced Valve to change their model. And a bunch of countries are having, reviews into loot boxes. If something was to happen to loot boxes, that would totally changed the game. It's not just like the game's funded by loot boxes, the whole skin system revolves around loot boxes. Skins are designed to be unboxed. That's literally how the system is designed. And in some countries, Valve has had to disable these loot boxes. Now, obviously, the Netherlands and Belgium, lovely place, but in the grand scheme of things, being able to open loot boxes there isn't too important to Valve's business model. In fact, there's only one country here that is important to Valve's business model, and that is the United States. If the United States was to ban loot boxes, this would be like a major paradigm shift. This would have massive repercussions for CSGO skins, and there have been proposals put forward in the US Senate to ban loot boxes. Now, as I understand it, those proposals have gone nowhere, and I don't see the US Senate actually doing anything anytime soon. So I don't think it's likely, but again, on a long enough timeline, maybe there's some big scandals. Valve run their loot boxes fairly well, but EA doesn't have as good a reputation. Maybe there's some other, companies that do some bad things with loot boxes and some legislation comes through. That could result in cases being banned. However, the problem with all this is, although CSGO skins are designed to work with loot boxes, and the game is funded by loot boxes, banning loot boxes does not get rid of CSGO skins. Valve can come up with an alternative solution, and I guarantee you they have thought about this and they have contingency plans. Banning loot boxes will not kill CSGO skins. Valve may well adapt and come up with something better. What could make skins go somewhere though, is if there was some sort of legislation banning in-game items that are worth money. CSGO skins could be seen as a type of currency, and sometimes governments don't like alternative forms of currency coming in and being used for slightly unethical things. CSGO skins are used in money laundering sometimes. They've been used to run illegal gambling sites. And if there was some major scandal, it is possible a government could come in and say, Valve, what you're doing here is illegal. The odds of this happening though are pretty minuscule. I don't think I could even give a plausible scenario where it could occur. Skins can survive a loot box ban, and if they can survive a loot box ban, there isn't much of a risk. Unlike the next topic, which people won't shut up about. Now, what are the odds of CSGO dying? Because CSGO is a game that just consistently refuses stuff. If you go to Steam charts, consistently the game has been growing over the years. There's been ups and downs, but if you go back, there is a trend, and that trend is upwards. Now, it's worth mentioning, Steam as a platform as a whole is growing, gaming is growing. CSGO is also quite unique as a game. We've got the T's and CTs planting a bomb. It's not something many other game devs would take a risk on. The subject matter of the game is controversial. CSGO orgs have trouble getting sponsors for their games because it's a very mature subject. And also, the game itself is very hardcore. It's not as accessible as games like Valorant. It doesn't try and be cool and market itself and appeal in the same way. And that is what sort of makes it unique and makes it durable. Counter-Strike in one form or another has been around 20 years. It will probably be around another 20 years. This means it's unlikely, certainly short to medium term, CSGO is going to fall off. It might not grow heaps, but it will probably keep chugging along and maintain a lot of its size. It doesn't seem like it's going to stop anytime soon. So CSGO dying and skins collapsing in value because of that doesn't seem, at least at face value, like a massive risk to me. But there is one caveat on that. You see, CSGO itself may be able to consistently appeal to players over the next 2 decades, but there is one party out there that could fuck it up. That company is Valve. There is a possibility that Valve could do an update so bad that it wrecks CSGO. Now, what could this update be? I don't know. We've seen things like the R8 Revolver that just break the game, but in fairness to Valve, they've fixed it. It's hard to imagine them actively trying to break their game. Nonetheless, there is a risk that, incompetence and arrogance in the Valve dev team could kill or mortally injure CSGO and could cause its player base to collapse, and in the process, it could potentially bring down the game. I don't think it's likely, but we can never rule out incompetence. There is a possibility. Now, that brings me to the final thing I think that could kill it. There's this country here called the USA. There's this country here called China. And there's this island here called Taiwan with lots of computer chips on it. Active subject to discussion in the media, China might try and invade here, and US might intervene. CSGO is located here in Seattle. Most buyers of skins are located here in China. You can see the problem, right? I'm trying to keep this as, non-political as possible. The thing is though, it may not be as disastrous as you might think. So you would assume that China would be cut off from the outside internet if there was a war, but I'm not sure if that would necessarily be the case. I think people still would be able to access the internet fairly freely. And if you can access the internet with a VPN, you can probably access CSGO skins. And if there was a war in Taiwan, it would be, let's just say, bad for asset prices. It's entirely possible in a hypothetical war with Taiwan, you could see Chinese people dumping money into skins to try and preserve the value of their assets. There is a scenario where it makes the price of skins go up. Now, it's also possible it could cause a crisis in confidence and a collapse on the market, but what it probably won't do is destroy the value of CSGO skins, because even though China is an important part of the market, it might hurt the value, but it's not the entire world. It's still only a small part of the player base. And even if prices collapse, as long as people are playing CSGO, they will recover. However, despite my optimistic take on all of this, there is one complication that might really fuck this all up, and that's nuclear war. What are the odds of that happening? I don't know, I'm not even going to speculate, but the one war-based scenario that I think is guaranteed to kill CSGO skins is a nuclear war. It would also destroy everything else, but that is a guaranteed way that is possible, very low probability, but it is possible, that could potentially kill CSGO skins. Not that anyone would be left to care about it. Now, in conclusion, I really have to say, I am not sure which one of these possibilities is most likely. When you really think about them, none of them really seem to be a looming threat. I'm pretty confident the party isn't going to be over anytime soon. And in saying that, I have probably jinxed myself and made CSGO fucking doomed in the process. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and subscribe, massively appreciated. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your gut. I'm Heyzeus. Thanks for watching. See ya.